She wanted an open marriage as an anniversary gift. When I refused, she vanished that night. So I vanished from her life, permanently. My name's Eric, 41. I was married to Natalie, 37, for 7 years. We'd been together for 11. From the outside, people envied us. We were one of those dink couples. Dual income, no kids. We traveled, we dined out on weeknights just because we could, and we had our rituals. Pizza and wine every Friday, weekend getaways every few months, summer vacations in Europe or Hawaii. We didn't want children. We just wanted to live and love to the fullest. For years, that's exactly what it felt like. Until our 7th anniversary. It started out like any other celebration in our lives. Natalie always made the big days special. I've never been the best at picking gifts. I'm the kind of guy who might panic buy a gift card at the last minute. So early in our relationship, we made a deal. She'd give me a list of 3 gift ideas a month before any major occasion. I'd choose one or sometimes all 3, depending on the budget. She'd still get the surprise of not knowing which I picked, and I'd avoid the deer-in-headlights panic. It worked. We were happy. But this year, she never gave me the list. I asked her about it multiple times and she kept brushing it off, telling me she had something different in mind. Said it wasn't material, but it would mean a lot to her. I thought maybe she had planned a surprise weekend away, or something personal like a memory scrapbook. Natalie always had a flair for the dramatic and romantic, so I didn't push. 2 nights before our anniversary, I came home exhausted from work, and everything felt surreal. Soft music playing, candles lit. The attic was transformed into a cozy retreat. She wore the lingerie I bought her on our honeymoon. Everything felt electric. She took my hand, led me upstairs, poured my favorite wine, and whispered in my ear, "Tonight, I'm going to tell you what I want for our anniversary." I was all in, curious, excited, open. Then came her request. Not a vacation. Not some intimate new kink. Not even a new experience between the 2 of us. She wanted to open the marriage. Said we were still young. Said we should experience more before we got old. And that she'd already found a couple other newbies we could try it with. She'd even chatted with them. Set up a meeting. Thought she was joking. I literally laughed. But she wasn't smiling. I asked how long she'd been planning this. She confessed she'd been watching videos and reels online, listening to couples talk about how it saved their marriages. Instagram, YouTube, whatever. She got curious, then obsessive, then convinced. And now she wanted me to be part of it. When I said no, firmly but respectfully, she tried to sell me on it. Showed me pictures of the woman. Highlighted her curves. Said, "Isn't she your type?" Felt sick. My stomach turned. When I told her again that I wasn't interested, she whispered, "Come on, you get to sleep with another woman." Most husbands would be thrilled. But I wasn't most husbands. I told her this wasn't what I signed up for. That I didn't want to share her. That we weren't some strangers trying to rekindle a dead spark. We were doing fine. Dates, vacations, sex multiple times a week. Connection. Then she dropped the line I'll never forget. "You don't own me." I went quiet. The argument spiraled. She called me outdated. Said I was stuck in a Stone Age mindset. When she realized I wouldn't budge, she stormed off to bed. Crashed on the couch. 2 days later, our actual anniversary, she was cold, distant. I made her pancakes. She didn't eat them. Just said she had a meeting and walked out the door. That night she didn't come home. I didn't need to ask where she was. She returned the next morning. Smudged makeup, messy hair, reeking of perfume and alcohol. I was sitting in the living room, sipping coffee, numb. I asked, "So, how was it?" She didn't even flinch. "I went out with my coworkers. Crashed at Mindy's." I stared her down. "I know the truth." She let out a sigh, then snapped, "You can't stop me from living my life." I just nodded. "No, can't. But I can leave it." I'd already packed my essentials. Moved everything to the attic, which had a separate entrance through the garage. I started calling it the dungeon. My escape. That day I found a divorce lawyer. I'd been recording everything since her first confession. Voice memos, conversations, just in case. When my lawyer heard the recordings, especially the part where she says, "You don't own me. I'm doing this with or without your approval," he said we had enough to file. Over the next few weeks, I moved out quietly. Found a small one-bedroom on the other side of town. And when the divorce papers were ready, I served them without warning. I wasn't there when she got them. But my lawyer said she called the office sobbing. Then she blew up my phone. Texts, voicemails begging to talk. I didn't reply. That night, I came back to the house one last time to collect the last of my things. She was there, sitting in the living room, Mascara Street, holding one of our old vacation photos. She looked up at me with red eyes and whispered, "I didn't mean for it to go this far. Love you. Please, we can fix this." For a split second, I saw the woman I used to know. But the moment passed. I told her, "You made your choice. And I made mine." I left without looking back. 18 months later. The aftermath. Natalie tried to fight the divorce. Claimed I'd abandoned the marriage. Her lawyer tried to paint me as controlling. Then my lawyer played the recordings in court. And Natalie broke. Under oath she confessed. She'd slept with 2 men on our anniversary. Not the couple she had pitched, but random strangers she met through an app. She said she was angry and caught up in the moment. Claimed she regretted it. I didn't even flinch. I'd already made peace with the fact that the woman I loved didn't exist anymore. The judge finalized the divorce. We sold the house. Split the assets. I didn't owe her a dime in alimony. She earned more than me and frankly, her conduct spoke for itself. But I wasn't done yet. Natalie had been the HR manager at a major ad agency. The same agency where her friend Mindy, her co-conspirator, had introduced her to all this free love ideology. Mindy had been preaching it to junior employees, turning team happy hours into late-night empowerment sessions. It was a culture of affairs waiting to explode. And Natalie, she did nothing to stop it. She'd even admitted on tape that she got pulled into the same lifestyle, while holding a role that was supposed to uphold workplace ethics. So after the divorce was finalized, I submitted an anonymous complaint to her company. Included the recordings, the confessions. A week later she was fired. She called me screaming. Said I should have done it during the divorce so she could at least claim maintenance. Now she had nothing. I told her the truth. "You did this to yourself." And I blocked her number. For good. So where am I now? Starting fresh. It doesn't feel like a win. Feels like surviving a disaster. Like pulling yourself out of the wreckage of something beautiful that someone else burned down. Some people say I went too far. Maybe I did. But I never cheated. I never lied. I never broke my vows. I just refused to let someone treat our marriage like a playground while gaslighting me for not wanting to join in. Final thoughts. If you're in a relationship where you're made to feel boring for having boundaries, it's not love. Love is about loyalty. About building something together. Not about how many people you can explore with while pretending it's growth. I didn't set her life on fire. She did. I just walked away before I got burned too.